Hey, Wouter, what's going on, man?
Yo, Xiaomanyc, how are
Dude,
you doing, man?
you have the craziest freaking channel. Like, I don't know, man. You seem to speak like actually legitimately speak like a lot of languages, like a lot.
Oh, cheers. Thanks for having me here, first of all. I want to say I have different levels in all these languages. In
Right.
6 languages, I can have deep conversations, and in 23 languages, I have more basic conversation levels, but I can still handle them on the street. It helps so much to meet new people, so that's a
Right.
great thing.
So
Yeah.
you have basic conversational ability in like 23 languages?
Yeah, and in 6 languages, I have the deep conversational level. Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
especially during COVID, I just met a lot of new people, and that's a good thing. So I really think that languages are helping us to feel less isolated
Yeah.
during such a time. So I think that's great. Yeah,
So we
that's very
have we
cool.
haven't we haven't rehearsed this at all, but I want to like put you on the spot a little bit. Like, could you say something in 23 languages?
In the 23 languages, like you
Yeah.
just want me to skip
Yeah,
between different languages?
just try to like I don't know, just like say something in each of the languages if you
Well,
can.
we can also start, for example, in Chinese. You speak Chinese, right?
Yeah, 可以，
我们一起现在可以说中文，还有过一会儿我可以说泰国话，这个可以。
可以，
还有
可以。
我想知道你在哪里学的汉语，我知道你真的说的非常好。
我在北京学的汉语。
你在北京学的哦，
对，
还有很大的进步贡献。如果我说中文，现在我有很多的问题，现在也有这个疫情的情况，还有没有很多的中国人在阿姆斯特丹，还有现在我每天学习意大利语，在这里，对。
嗯，
Posso anche parlare italiano, per esempio, perché adesso sono stato in Italia per 2 volte, ma adesso anche sto imparando italiano tutti i giorni e voglio dire che è molto difficile per parlare tutte 23 lingue adesso, ma è difficile per cambiare e anche i verbi sono complicati in italiano. Ma volevo anche dire che sono stato qui con la mia ragazza totalmente per 2 settimane. Secondo me è molto. E adesso è molto difficile perché sono nella casa qui, la mia ragazza è nella camera e adesso è un po' difficile per parlare molte lingue qui. Eu gosto também de praticar o português com as pessoas, mas é muito interessante quando eu tenho que falar português, depois francês, tailandês, todos os idiomas. Un problème dans ma cabeça. Je peux parler français aussi, bien sûr. Je vais te dire que c'est magnifique. Je peux pratiquer toutes les langues ici avec toi. Maintenant, j'ai plus de temps. Je peux trouver plus de choses. Et je pense que les langues sont des clés parce que tu peux connaître plus de personnes. Si je veux voyager, je peux comprendre les mentalités différentes.ผมอยากพูดภาษาไทยเหมือนกันครับผมเคยไปประเทศไทยอีกครั้งครับผมอยากไปที่ประเทศไทยอีกครั้งเพราะว่าผมชอบภาษาไทยผมอยากพูดภาษาจีนภาษาไทยชอบประเทศไทยมากๆครับแต่ผมอยู่ตัวนี้ผมมีเวลาครับผมมีเวลาครับ It's so funny to switch between this. You want me to go on switching or
yeah,
what?
keep going. This
Oh,
is great.
sure, okay. Ja, also ich liebe das auch immer Deutsch zu reden. Also ich glaube, dass es auch gut ist, dir kennenzulernen hier. Und ja, ich muss auch sagen, dass es mir gefällt. Ich habe deine Videos geschaut und ich kann sagen, dass dein Chinesisch ganz gut ist. Und auch liebe ich das, wie du deinen Kanal, ja, deine Selbstentwicklung ist immer sehr interessant, glaube ich. Also du bist sehr jung, ich weiß es nicht, bist du 20 Jahre alt oder 30 Jahre alt, das weiß ich nicht. Aber dass du so viel Selbstvertrauen hast jetzt, dass du so viele Leute kennenlernen kannst, das ist ja immer sehr interessant in meinen Augen. Und meiner Meinung nach musst du das niemals aufgeben. Und dass du dann auch diese kleinen Sprachen gelernt hast, ist auch sehr interessant. 야, 안녕하세요. 저는 와우터입니다. 한국 사람에게 배웠어요. 많은 한국 관광객이 있어요. 저는 한국에 가고 싶어요. 야, 사랑해요, 셔마.
It's crazy, dude.
야, 많은, 야, 저는 중국어를 조금입니다. Ya, puedo ako magsalita sa Tagalog at ya, good, alam mo ba kung marunong ako rin mag-Tagalog kasi marami akong oportunidad para mag-practice Tagalog at pwede akong magsalita sa Hiligaynon rin kasi may maraming lengguwahe sa Pilipinas, Hiligaynon, Tagalog at gusto ko rin ng mga video sa Tagalog. At gusto ko rin pumunta doon sa Amerika para gumawa ng mga video kasama mo para sa aking YouTube channel ko rin. Kasi marunong ka bang mag-Tagalog rin. Hindi ko alam. Pero ikinagagawal kong makilala ka. So this was Tagalog and I also speak some Hiligaynon which is like another Filipino language. Pwede ako mag-ambal sa Hiligaynon. Gusto ko rin matuto madamo lengguaje upod sa akong amigo sa Pilipinas kag gusto ko makato sa madamo lugar sa Pilipinas kag nalipay get ako upod sa akong oportunidad para mag-practice Hiligaynon kag Tagalog rin. Nalipay get ako makilala ka. Nederlands is mijn moedertaal, dus dan ga ik gewoon niet zo lang spreken. Nederlands is mijn moedertaal, dus dat spreek ik nu gewoon heel kort even en daarna ga ik weer over naar Afrikaans. Ik hou er ook van als ik kan praten, bieden Afrikaans, of verstaan elkaar, maar vandaag heb ik Afrikaans gepraat met Zuid-Afrikaanse vrienden. Ik heb de lekker tijd met mijn Zuid-Afrikaanse vrienden, maar ik was nog nooit in Zuid-Afrika geweest, niet, maar ik hou erbij van om Zuid-Afrika te bezoeken. Did I also already speak Spanish? Creo que no he hablado español hoy. No. Es muy gracioso porque siempre quiero visitar los Estados Unidos porque me gusta mucho la influencia de México. Y por ejemplo, sí, he visitado también Nueva York. Siempre me gusta también cuando puedo practicar los idiomas con los latinoamericanos. Y quiero también decir que viajar es el llave para no tener perjuicios, por ejemplo, y los idiomas podrían conectar las personalidades diferentes juntos. Y esta cosa es siempre mi motivación, es mi llave también para conocer todas las personas en todo el mundo. Y mi corazón podría conocer todo el mundo con la capacidad, con los idiomas diferentes. También quiero decir que estoy cometiendo errores diferentes cuando personas podrían decirme cuando tengo errores. Dígame por favor porque quiero mejorar. Este video no es un show off, también solamente es para motivar a las personas y para mejorar y mejorar. Es un poco ruidoso, aquí no lo sé qué pasa. I already spoke Portuguese, right? Eu não sei que eu falo. I spoke Portuguese, ok. O catalán, me quería para catalán. Voy a visitar Cataluña, pero no falo catalán muy bien, porque catalán es una lengua muy común. Pero voy visitar Catalunya, voy visitar Barcelona, voy a aprender muchas palabras en catalán. Tôi nói tiếng Việt, tôi rất thích Vietnam rất đẹp, tôi nói tiếng Việt, tiếng Trung, tôi học tiếng Việt ở Việt Nam. Tôi rất thích Vietnam, nhưng tiếng Việt có học. Я хочу сказать, что я не говорил на русском языке сегодня, но я хочу сказать, что мне очень нравится, если я могу говорить на разных языках с людьми. И очень нравится, что я могу быть в Голландии, потому что в этом месте много людей может говорить на этом красном языке. И каждое утро я изучаю русский язык, я изучаю украинский язык. Потому что эти языки очень похожи. И очень нравится, если я могу использовать много разных слов. И на которые люди думают, что русский язык очень трудный. И я думаю, что русский язык трудный язык тоже, но я могу использовать поддержки сейчас. И я хочу поехать в много страны. Я хочу поехать в Россию тоже. И очень нравится, если мы будем практиковаться в скайпе, и мы будем написать в Инстаграме тоже. I didn't speak Swedish, jag pratar också svenska. Jag älskar att prata många språk med dig, men svenska och danska, holländska är lika, men det är också mycket svårt för mig. Men jag vill gärna förbättra min svenska och jag vill resa till Sverige. Jag älskar många länder. Men ja, jag tänker att jag tänker på framtiden och jag tycker att svenska är mycket intressant, men också mycket svårt. Danish, jag älskar att snacka dansk. Jag spelar online games med danska, men dansk är också mal svett att uttala. Jag kan säga gewoon med fluent, det är mal svett, för jag är holländsk. Men jag har också många motiverar. Jag vill också gärna lära svenska. Jag ska på biblioteket, för jag vill lära många ord på dansk. Jag älskar dansk. I'm just thinking which languages I didn't speak yet. Jamaican Creole, me can chat patwa. Why you ready? Everything crazy, everything cook and curry. Me love a chat patwa. Me love a chat patwa like Riyadi. Why you ready? Everything good, man. Me love link up with Brethren, and me can have a decent conversation in patwa. And me I go have fully Brethren. Me have fully respect for Jamaica. Me love learn language them. We're Brethren, and yeah, they all still know Danish Brethren. Then I speak Buryat, which is a rare language. Zijn bijna jammer banash bi Wouter geschinnende bi orot gele grole shusje de gub. Bi Buryat gele uze go gananap. Buryat gele uzle gatu. Buryat gele goi gele. And yeah, I'm just thinking which languages Japanese, watashi wa Hollandaise desu, watashi wa Nihongo wa skoshi anasamas. Nihon ni kita koto ga arimasu ka? Nai desu. Watashi wa koko de bengo shite imasu. And which language I didn't have yet. I'm not sure about the ones. Greek. Yeah. Milau ligo elenika. Marasi na texido se poliescorias. Arapo inelada. Emasai linikas in Creti di abdomada. Arapo inelada. Telinica in discoli glossi. Arapo ta hispanica, ta elinica, arapo polisglossis. Then me elinas me dos. Harika posmonorisa. And let me see which ones I didn't have. German, Portuguese, Spanish, French, German. I think I got all of them, man. I think so. Like,
dude, this is insanity, bro. Like, how? Why? I have so many questions, right? Like, what?
As I said, I speak them all different levels, and I have to learn
of
a
course,
lot. You know?
Right? But you clearly have like a certain level of like spontaneous conversational ability in each of these. I guess that was 23 languages. And in some a lot more. Like, and it takes, obviously from personal experience, I know it takes quite a bit of effort to even get to that level in these languages. I'm curious, like, how much time it took you to do this.
Well,
I mean, like, growing up in the Netherlands, you probably had like a little bit of a head start, right?
Yeah,
but
9 years ago.
Yeah,
I started learning languages 9 years ago.
Yeah.
I think I started learning by talking to tourists. I was just interested in the language. I was asking, like, how do you say this and that? And then I was getting more interested in languages each time. And I was like, I just want to learn more and more and more. And then I also met like a lot of other people, so I think one of the nicest things which I like about creating content is meeting awesome people. I also know you, like we both have a channel. We know each other this way. I think that's cool. It connects us. But I can also tell that many other people motivated me a lot to improve in these languages.
Right.
And that's also why I'm asking people for feedback and just emphasizing like, yo, this is not a video to show off or anything, because some people might think that, but it's not. It's more I basically want to show you guys the mistakes which I'm making.
But like,
tell me
dude,
which mistakes I'm making, and then each video will be better. That's my idea.
Right, but
Basically.
like, let's be honest though, you've earned the right to show off. I mean, like what you can do is really cool, and it's very, very rare, right? Like, there's not that many people in the world who can do what you do, right? I mean, it's
The thing
like,
is more,
including
it's
me.
not
Like,
it's not my intention. You know what I mean? Like when I'm making a video, I just
right.
want to get feedback. I want to become better,
Yeah.
and I'm not getting better when I'm not getting feedback. So I'll get
Right.
better feedback when I'm just telling like, yo, just don't want mistakes and stuff like that, and then I will
Right.
improve. That's my intention.
Yeah.
And another thing, which is also like a reason why I make videos, is to show people how hard it is, you know, to speak a language on the streets and to make mistakes. I want to give people the faith that they should just start speaking the language and to not be afraid, because people are not judging you, man. Like when you're on the streets,
Right.
you also notice when you're speaking Chinese to someone, those people are happy, and putting a smile on someone's face. That's like, I think it's already a nice thing, a nice experience. And
Yeah.
when that same person can also help you to improve, there's no reason to be afraid. But I still think that some people are afraid to just speak because they're afraid to be judged. And I think it's not necessary to feel judged. So
That's awesome, man.
yeah.
And do you like, what is your like language study routine look like? I mean, I'm sure it's intense.
It's always changing. So
Yeah.
right now I'm studying. Well, I have a holiday with my girlfriend, you know, and like here in Italy, I'm just learning Italian. Yeah, what is it? I speak it 3 hours per day. So I have a book with me and I speak it with people, and it's such an advantage that they don't speak English. No offense, but most of them don't speak English in this area where I'm right now, and that's actually good, because the thing is, you're learning faster, in my opinion, from someone who doesn't speak English, because that person is not switching to English. So they are used to explain things with their hands, right? So, for example, whatever this is the fridge or whatever, they're showing it because they're used to people who are not speaking Italian. So if they are speaking Italian to me, they're also still showing. So I'm learning easier, and that's a really good thing. And but in general, I would say I study 3 hours per day, and right now I'm focusing on Chinese, Italian, Russian, and what's the other one? Let me see. Russian, Mandarin, Italian, Indonesian. These 4 languages I'm focusing mostly on those ones. So
pretty easy.
No, I mean
pretty
more.
easy
I'm always
challenge.
switching the group. So per period, I have a group of languages which I want to improve,
Yeah.
and once they are improved, I switch to a next language. There are often languages which I already speak, but I just want to improve them. And I even have sessions in other languages. So, for example, I'm learning Greek and Spanish. So the sessions about Greek are in Spanish. So I use my stronger languages to study languages which I learn, which I speak at a lower level.
Right, really
Sort of
smart.
instrumental strategy.
Yeah. So you're learning Greek through Spanish. That's great.
Yes. Yeah.
How do you study? Like just talking to people?
Mostly talking to people on the streets, but also like through Skype. So as I told before, like I know people like you from the internet, but also many others. And what I see is I receive more messages, you know, on Instagram. And often those people were texting me. They're very open-minded to just have a video call in whatever their language or a couple of languages. And because of them, you know, they're basically feeding my brains with languages. So if I'm replying my messages, I'm improving. That's basically what I'm doing. So I just text in different languages. I call. I have books with me. What else? I also like to watch videos on Netflix, movies on Netflix. That's helping a lot. And that, basically all those things which we already have in our life are already the tools, in my opinion. So there's already so much which we already have, which we can use in order to learn, you know? So
dude, this is the craziest thing. So is this your full-time job?
Oh, that's a good question. You mean like
because like you're spending a lot of time on it, like is it
well,
like
do
you do YouTube? I guess because on your YouTube channel you also do languages. Like is YouTube your full-time job? Like can you afford to basically spend all your time studying languages because you're putting in obviously a lot of time?
I'm doing different things. Basically from like I have a YouTube channel. That's my work. You know, I see that as work. But besides that, I'm also like an artist. So I'm like, I'm not sure if you know that, but do you know the Zandschans? Like it's a
I
village
didn't
in
know
the
that.
Netherlands.
No.
I made my first video on my YouTube channel. The first video was made right there.
Yeah.
So it's a windmill village. There I make caricatures, I make drawings, handmade etching prints, handmade woodcut prints, all this stuff, you know,
Wow.
my own
That's
work.
so cool. Oh my
And
God.
I already did that before I started my YouTube channel. So that's
Yeah.
already something which I'm doing since I was 23 years old. And I started my YouTube channels, I think since I was 26 years old, I started the language channel
Yeah.
of mine. And so I basically have different things which I'm doing. Well,
Right.
and so there are different projects which I'm doing. I'm also streaming on Twitch, for example. That's also something what I'm doing. So
Yeah.
I personally like it to have variation in what I'm doing, and
Yeah.
so learning languages. And but it's already cool that you're calling it a job, because some people call it a hobby. But I would say language learning is more than a hobby. It's a sport. It's also part of my job. It's
Yeah.
also part of your job. You know, because we
Right.
put languages in our content. We
Yeah.
are investing our time in order to make content which might be helpful for people. So I think we're both doing sort of entertaining language videos, you know, which is
Yeah.
yeah, different than most educated language channels. But still, I believe that it has a value, because we are like, my goal is mostly like bringing new people in the language learning community. So there may be people who are, some people maybe think like, hey, language learning, is that nerdy or anything, you know?
Right.
But basically, it's also something which is very social. I think, you know,
Yeah.
it's not just nerdy with books or anything.
And I
That's
think like what people get from watching your channel is
Mhm.
like a lot of inspiration. You know, you see like this dude speaking like just an unbelievable quantity of languages, and your first instinct is like, how is this possible? And then it gives you inspiration, because you're like, well, if this guy can just be walking around in the streets of Amsterdam speaking like, 20 languages simultaneously, like, you're saying that I can't just go and learn Spanish? Like, come on, like, I just have to learn Spanish, like, because most people don't really want to or need to learn so many languages simultaneously. Most people, like, maybe they want to learn Spanish for their girlfriend, or like, they want to learn Chinese because they're having a trip to China, or something like whatever. But they don't, like, once you see what somebody like you can do, I think for a viewer and for just any average person, it becomes much easier to say, like, oh, like, if he can do that, then I can certainly learn like one language, right?
Well, thanks a lot for these words, man. Like, I'm a little bit speechless, because like I don't know, like I just have a lot of fun, you know, in language learning, but I never know exactly how other people are seeing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, of course, I know that people are interested in languages, and
Yeah.
but I mean, like, basically, it is my goal to motivate people. And I always say, if they're learning one language or two language,
Mm.
or it's not about numbers. It's not about numbers, you know.
Yeah.
But I do believe at the same time that there is space for a second or third language, because sometimes some people are asking me that, like, that's a very common question, like, can I learn more language than one at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't
Well,
think that these are
clearly, yes. Obviously.
yeah, I don't think that these are facts, because some people, they it might be very effective if you want to focus on one language,
Yeah.
of course, but it depends on your goals. Because I also do believe, for example, if you're learning one language all the time, there's less variation. And when you have, for example, something like whatever, Chinese and Spanish, it is so different, you know. It's like, you also don't want to eat pizza every day, right? That's what a little bit what I mean. Okay, that's
Yeah.
the variation is the key, and it's like the adventure, and that's what I love about my journey. It's like learning so many things about languages and about people and their habits. I think it's everything. Yeah.
Wow.
I definitely want to say something about your channel, if that's okay. Like,
Sure. Yeah.
about, I really like what you're doing, man. It's cool that you're like, you're just approaching people. That's something what I see. You're just approaching them. You're just using those languages. But sometimes something which I'm already seeing, also seeing, is that you're doing many projects with other language learners, or with other people, and combining them so into your project, you know. And that's so cool, you know, that you're also giving them enthusiasm, you know, like, because there are many different language channels and
Yeah.
with different concepts, and you are so easygoing by doing those projects with them, whatever their goal is, you know, because that's something cool, that you're open-minded to combine your view or your perspective with other people, and then you get really really cool videos. I also like the video which you had with Matt versus Japan. It was also pretty cool.
Yeah, he's
Where
awesome.
he was speaking Japanese in that it was in a sort of manga store, I think, right? Like in a sort of bookstore, I can remember. But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
I just like these videos, you know, in America, because I think America is very multicultural, and I think they're also not very used to someone like you know, speaking multiple languages, and
Mm.
that's something incredible, you know. Like I know most Americans speak English and also Spanish sometimes.
Yeah.
That's what I know. But you also speak Chinese and some other Asian languages, and then everything together. That's like that's just very cool, you know. So
Yeah,
it's
I
awesome.
appreciate that, man. Yeah, and you know, I always like making videos with people, you know, more talented than me, you know, like you. So, you know,
Don't say that, man.
I get the
Don't say that.
I get the ability to, you know, and that's what's really cool about the language world, right? Is like you get to meet, like, you know, all these incredible people who have these like really crazy stories. So yeah.
Well,
You
you're
know,
very humble right now, but
yeah.
let me say your Chinese is way better than my Chinese. I'm
Well, I've been
and
learning.
it's not
I've
a
been learning for a long
competition.
time. I've been learning for a long
But
time.
I mean, I just have a lot of respect for that part, because like Chinese is such a difficult language, also with the tones and everything, you know. And also look at what you achieve with your channel, you know. It's going so well with your channel, and I'm actually happy with that, because I don't know, man. Like, how can I explain this? Like, your channel has 4 million subscribers, and I'm just happy with that, because like there are not so many language entertainment channels, or even language, let's call it language channels. There are not so
Yeah.
many of them. There are way more yoga channels, way more gaming channels than language
Right.
channels. I mean, we can agree about that. So what you
Yeah.
achieved, I'm just proud, man. It's just cool. You're inspiring many people, and yeah, it's just cool. It's giving me hope, because I was first not sure about all the language thing, like how many people like it or not like it. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's a bit nerdy as well. You know what I mean? So I first
It's a
thought when I
little
was making the
nerdy. It's a little
videos,
nerdy,
how
right?
many people like it, and then I saw your channel, and I
Yeah.
thought, okay, people like languages, cool. So that's a cool thing. Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, you know, hope everybody can go check out your channel, because you got some really cool videos and very impressive videos where you're just walking around on the streets of Amsterdam speaking all these languages. So everybody go check it out in the description.
Thanks. Thank you,
Cool.
man. I appreciate it.
All right, and also we're gonna make a video on Wouter's channel as well. So you guys should all go and check that out. Bye bye.
Bye bye, everybody.